Hello gamers, Wiki here. Welcome to another episode of Nintendo Mania. This week I want to introduce you to this section titled A Tutorial Nobody Asked For. I always hear that the water temple for Ocarina of Time is very hard, and I can say that after beating it about 25 times in my lifetime or so, it has definitely gotten easier. But I was searching on YouTube and I couldn't find a tutorial telling you how to beat it step by step. So as long as you follow the upcoming 43 easy steps, you should be fine. Sit back, relax, since the show is about to start. Let's watch our intro. Here we go! Water Temple Tutorial. What do you need to have plus my recommendations? What you have to have is Fairy's Bow, the hook shot, the iron boots. The optionals, but the ones that I would really recommend you having are the Zora tunic, Giant's knife, Din's fire, and the double magic, just to be on the safe side. So let's get going and let's start with step number 1. Step number 1. Enter the water temple and remove your iron boots. Look at your surroundings, since this temple is all about orientation. Step 2. Put your iron boots and go all the way to the bottom and proceed to the room to the right, which is the east wing of this temple. You will find Ruto, who will welcome you to the news that there are 3 places where you can change the level of the water, which is the main mechanic this temple was developed around. Oh, and apparently she is your fiance. Step 3. Remove your iron boots and go all the way up. You will see on your way up that there is a level 2 in between level 1 and 3. But we cannot access this level yet. Here on level 3, you need to enter the room, kill all the Spike's enemies using your sword, and grab the map inside the chest that is about to magically appear. I recommend to constantly be looking at your map, since this dungeon is all about knowing where you are. Step 4. Leave the room and immediately to your left, you will see a Triforce sign. Play the Zelda's Lullaby, since this will set the temple's water level to the minimum, and proceed to do one of the most unintuitive things this temple forces us to do, which is just jump all the way to the first floor. Step 5. Back in the room where we found Ruto, light the torches using the one torch that is already lit up and open the door. Use your bow to cross the fire of the torch that is already lit up. You can do this with both of them and you will go through the door. You will find 3 shell blades, which are the enemies that look like clamshells. You can use your bow and arrow or your hook shot. Time it correctly by moving close and waiting for their mouth to open, and then fire. Once you kill all the 3 shell blades, another magical chest will appear, revealing our first key. Leave the room using the door where you came from. Step 6. With the water level set to the minimum, proceed to leave the room and you will find yourself once again in the center room of the temple. We need to go straight forward, so just go around the pillar and reach the west wing of the temple. Step 7. You will find a red platform and a big cube on top of it. This is blocking our way to the west wing. Move it until it falls all the way to the bottom. You will discover there is water where this cube fell, So put on your iron boots and proceed to the bottom. Once you reach the end of the aisle, remove your boots. I again recommend you to open your map since it will always show you where you are. You can see we are making some progress now on the west wing. Step 8. You will now find a room with a crystal switch, a water pillar in the middle, and a blue tektite, which we will be calling water spiders moving forward. Shoot an arrow to the spider and activate the crystal switch with your bow and proceed to jump the gap using the rising water pillar. Go through the door. Step 9. You will find a room with a pond of water that has a whirlpool current. This current can be tricky, so pay close attention to what you have to do. Looking at the pond directly, align yourself so you jump to the rightmost part of the water pond. Once inside the pond, go all the way to the right and put your iron boots once again. You will stand on a metal structure from where you will need to use your hook shot to activate a switch. Step 10. You can see a switch in the mouth of a dragon-like statue, and you can see a hookshot target to the right of it leading to a path. Fire your hookshot to the crystal inside the dragon's mouth and remove your iron boots to swiftly go through the door that just opened on the pathway. If done correctly, you should find yourself floating on the surface of the room above, where you can see a crystal and a chest containing the next key. Grab it and be ready to go back from where we came from. Step 11. Activate the crystal switch that will open the automatic door for you and jump back into the water. Put on your iron boots for about a second just to be able to go through the lower level ceiling. Remove them iron boots before you touch the floor so the enemies cannot damage you. Take a right turn to follow the whirlpool's natural flow and grab the ledge so you can proceed to the door we came from. Step 12. Traverse back through the room with the spider by killing it and then using the hook shot to grab to the target. Continue straight and you will find the pond from before. You know what to do. Use your iron boots to reach the end of the corridor. Just this time, do not remove them since we need to use the hook shot target to hook shot our way out of here. Remove your iron boots and go back to the center room with the big pillar in the middle. Step 13. It is time to enter the center pillar by using the door with the lock. Move forward and then turn around and use your hook shot to survey the upper area of this pillar. You will find a hook shot target to the upper right, so hook shot away to reach the platform. Here you will find the second place where you can manipulate the water level. Play Zelda's Lullaby and the water level will rise now to the half full level or the middle level of the water. Step 14. This is the step that will get you lost if you do not pay attention. With the water level this high, you will see a platform that ascends and is the perfect height to give you easy access to a door. But do not go through that door, since if you pay attention, once the water level increases, the floating block reveals a very tricky passageway. Only for a split second. This passageway is very easy to miss, since there is no natural reason to go back underwater since we just rose the water level. Instead, swim to the center of those two platforms and put on your iron boots. Go through the hole that we just recently discovered, where we will find a room with a puzzle to solve and a key. Step 15. If you follow the path we just discovered, you will enter a room with only a crystal switch in it. The puzzle is quite simple. Hit the switch with the hook shot, but keep your distance since enemies will drop from above. Kill the enemies cautiously using the hook shot and the passageway to the next key will be revealed. Remember that the hook shot and the shield are the only weapons that Link can use underwater. Once the last enemy is dead, the passageway to the next key will open. Just pay attention where the automatic doors open and go there by removing your iron boots. Once you reach the surface, there will be another chest with another key. Grab it and return to the center pillar using the path from where we came from. Careful with the spikes, just let Link float to the surface. Step 16. Now we can go through the door the game tricked us into thinking was the next step. Once you use the door, it will close behind Link. This is okay. I recommend you to explore a bit to know where you are. That's right, you are in the center room of the temple. The front of the temple always has a dragon-like statue on the top. So that is a point of reference you want to have. Now go to the east wing. As a reference, it has 2 pods and a hookshot target on top. You can simply jump the gap and follow the corridor along the way. Step 17. You will find a room with some spikes on the floor. Use the hookshot to avoid them Spider-Man style. Turn around and use the hookshot again and point it towards the farthest of the 3 hookshotable targets. You will hear water and you will see a chest inside the pillar of water. Simply use an arrow to activate the switch and you will find a compass inside the chest. This will further improve your ability to know where you are and where you came from in a room, since it marks with a red arrow where you came from and with a yellow arrow your current position. Exit this room using the passageway we used to get and go back to the temple center room. Step 18. Back in the center room, put on your iron boots since we will sink back to the room where we met Ruto. If you remember, there was a room we could not access since the water levels was too high. Well, this time it has the perfect depth. Once you reach Ruto's room, simply remove your iron boots and float so you can find a room with a huge crack in the middle. These are bombable. Yes, these are bombable walls, but I'm sure you knew this already. Go bomb this wall and enter. You will find yet another easy to miss key if you did not know what you were doing. We return to the temple's center room once more. This time, remove your boots to go to the surface once again. Step 19. We will do the same as we did before. We will go to the other side of the temple, going around the center pillar. In this case, you can see the red block is floating and it has given us access to the west wing, but on the second floor this time. You can see the door has a lock. Use one of your recently found keys to open the door and enter. Step 20. Once inside the door, you will hear a water pillar again. Stand on that pillar for about 3 seconds and then back off. There is a spider waiting to scare you. Kill it. Once the spider is dead, place yourself on the top of the water pillar and aim your bow at the crystal switch. Fire away and slowly rise to the top. You will see a door on this level. Go through that door and the door will shut behind you. This is okay. Step 21. If you pay attention, we are yet again back to the temple center room. This time we have discovered the third place where you can rise the temple's water level. Play the Zelda's lullaby in front of the Triforce and see the water rise to the maximum level. Step 22. With the water level this high, we will access the west wing once again. Look for the floating red platform and you will know you are in the correct spot if once again it has a locked door. Enter this room where you will find 2 keys or bats. Kill the bats since they will only annoy you in the long run. Step 23. Once the keys are dead, approach the edge of this room. You can see a bunch of moving platforms and a gold skulltula to the right. We will have to let this skulltula for now go down to the first 2 red platforms. From there, you will see a series of platforms that move like an automatic electric stair. Use your hook shot to aim at the steps one by one. You will notice that these are naturally descending to the void. But as long as you don't get desperate and shoot your next target, you should be fine. Continue hook shotting your way through the automatic stairs, and once you reach the top, go through the door that has a lock into the next room. Step 24. It may not look like it, but if you look at your map, you will see that most of the rooms have already been visited, which means we are getting to the cool part of the temple. In this room, you need to solve a puzzle by rising and lowering the water level using the crystal switch in the middle. Hit the crystal switch and kill the spider. Hook shot the dragon head across. Once again, hit the crystal switch and lower the water. This time, hook shot to the target next to the dragon head and jump over the dragon's head. Hit the crystal switch again to increase the water level. I recommend killing the spiders since they are annoying. Hookshot your way to the last dragon head and hit the crystal switch again to lower the water level. Jump on top of the dragon's head and activate the switch once again to use it as an elevator. Once you're up here, kill the spiders and likes using the spin attack. Use the hookshot target to avoid the ground spikes and open the pots. These will contain magic, and this is magic that we may need on the next room. Go through the door onto the next room. Step 25. This particular room reminds me of the magic room that appeared in Dragon Ball Z, called the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. You cannot see anything except for a lone tree in the middle of the room and a door at the other side of said room. Walk towards the island and then towards the door. If you pay attention, your shadow will reflect on the first part of the room until you reach the island with the tree. But after that, your shadow will abandon you. Once you see your shadow has abandoned you, just turn around and go back and get it. You will meet Shadow Link eye to eye. It is time to conquer yourself by defeating him. Trying to conquer yourself using the Master Sword is almost suicidal. Depending on what version of the game you are playing, the Megaton Hammer can be useful since Shadow Link will not know what to do. But a very reliable technique that I use is to have the Giant's Knife equipped. This Shadow Link will mirror any attack you do with your Master Sword. But since he does not have a Giant's Knife, he does not know how to handle you that much when you press forward and attack with this sword. Remember, the attack you want to use is the forward thrust. This attacks his feet, and he has problems defending his feet. If you take too long to kill it, it will become smarter, more agile and more aggressive with the time. If your sword breaks, don't worry, you can still deal damage, but for a very minimum amount. When you see the time is right, equip your Din's Fire to burn his soul straight to the sacred realm. Once he's dead, you will see that it was all an illusion. Just like when you feel life is meaningless, you have to fight the shadows that torment you to see clear again. It is not fun, it is not pretty, but it has to be done. Remember to equip the Master Sword again and proceed to the next room to cash out on the prize you get from conquering yourself. Step 26. Enter the room and you will find a big chest. Open it and you will acquire the improved hookshot called the long shot. Behind it you will find a blue cube. Make it disappear playing the Song of Time. Drop through the hole on the floor you just created and we will enter a room with a lot of water and vortexes next. Step 27. For this part, I need you to check the video on how I do it, since in my experience it is the best way to avoid being sucked by the vortexes and will make this process quick and painless for you. Follow the river downstream, and remember, if you mash the B button, you can swim faster. 50% of you people did not even know Link could swim faster. If you knew this already, leave a like and say, I already knew the on the comment section. Avoid the first whirlpool, and before reaching the second, put on the iron boots so you can collect a golden Skulltula. Move far enough from the vortex so you can swim around the whirlpool from the right side. Then you will see a couple of pots. Swim as fast as you can to those spots. Climb the ledge to solid ground where the pots are. Inside one of those pots you will find a fairy. You can catch it if you want. Aim your long shot to the target on the ceiling. Once you fall, you will see an ice switch. You can shoot this ice switch to activate an automatic door. This automatic door lasts some seconds until it closes. Worry not, since you can use the long shot on the chest to get to the other side before time runs out. Open the chest and you will find a key. Step 28. If you continue forward, you will find yourself on a room we already visited. It is the room with the whirlpool. This is just your way back to the temple center room. So swim your way to the door. Just go ahead and open the door. Step 29. Kill the spider and use the long shot to cross. Jump into the water and equip your iron boots. This time, do not use the target, since, if you remember, the water level is on its highest. Step 30. We need another tricky key to progress on this temple. So from the center room, go to the bottom of the east wing by wearing the iron boots. This is the same room where we met Ruto inside the temple. Remove your iron boots and ascend all the way to the top, where you will play Zelda's Lullaby in front of the Triforce sign. This will bring the water level to the minimum once again. Step 31. Now we must raise the water level to 2. So go back to the temple's main room and enter the center pillar. In this center pillar, use the long shot to reach the platform with the Triforce sign. Play Zelda's Lullaby once again to bring the water level to the medium level. If you are curious enough, you will find a golden Skulltula high up on this very room. Once you collect it, proceed to the door that will close behind you. Step 32. Circle around the pillar until you are looking at the south part of the temple. You will see an ice switch, shoot at it, and quickly long shot your way across. It will seem like you don't have much time, but that is not the case. As long as the long shot attaches to the target, you should be fine. Follow the pathway until you find a red cube. Pull this cube until you hear it reaches a point where it falls. Now, turn around and follow the pathway until you need to long shot your way out of there. You will be back to the central room once again. Jump into the water and go again to the south part where the ice switch was and do this process again. This will allow you to now push the red block once again and will reveal one more chest with one more key. This is, in my opinion, the hardest key to get, since it's not very clear that you have to do the ice switch and long shot process twice. Step 33. If you look at the map, you can see that there is just one place to go now in the temple, and that is north. So that is where we will go. At this point, there are 2 golden Skulltulas you can get, one on the south part of the temple on the first floor and one on the third floor on the west wing. Remember that room with the keys bats on step 22 and 23 of this video and the moving platforms? Well, now with the long shot you can get that one too. We will be getting this last one since we do need to raise the water level regardless to access the boss room. So to do that, go to the west wing with the water as it is. You will find the room with a spider, a water pillar, and a crystal switch. You know the drill. Kill the spider, stand on the pillar, activate the switch, open the door, and play Zelda's Lullaby. With the water level set to high, go again to the west wing, kill the bats, and aim your long shot at the golden Skulltula. Collect the token and turn around and return to the temple's central room. Step 34. In the central room, jump into the water and put on the iron boots and go all the way to the bottom. Walk towards the north part of the temple this time. Avoid the moving spikes enemies you see and proceed to the northmost part of the temple. Step 35. Use the long shot to climb out of the water and use it again to cross the gap with the spikes. Open this door with one of your keys to advance to the next room. Step 36. If you are skilled enough, you can get a gold Skulltula from here. You just need to point your long shot the way I am doing right now. You see the rocks spawning right there? Just be careful with the spiders since these are annoying as cockroaches. You can simply snipe the spiders from where you are standing to make it a faster and a safer swim. Or you can try to swim across as fast as you can if you want to save arrows. Remember, mash the B button to gain extra speed to outswim the vortex current. Once you are on the other side, simply enter the door to the next area. Step 37. You will find several enemies on this room, which I recommend sniping from above with either the long shot or the bow. Go down and place 2 bombs on these 2 walls to uncover a brown cube that we need to push and then pull and then push until it falls on the switch underwater. Do it as I do it on the video. Once this switch is pressed, the water level will rise. Proceed to the next area using the door you have access to now. Step 38. This room can be tricky if you don't know what you're doing. Kill both spiders from the distance, or at least make them fall to the pit since they can get in the way when you're trying to cross this room. Once the spiders are out of the way, activate the switch that will bring 3 water pillars so you can use them as platforms. There is a clock ticking. You need to get across and open the door before the time expires. If you fail the first time, just use the long shot to bring yourself back up and try again. You only need to use the first 2 pillars since Link can reach from the second one. Once you make it across, open the door and you will find yourself in a familiar room, but from a different angle. Step 39. We are back to the room where we attempted to collect the Skulltula. If you did not make it from afar, this is your opportunity to collect the token. Just be careful with the falling rocks since you will need to time them to avoid them. Turn right and jump into the water and immediately equip the iron boots. Watch out for the shell blade that is waiting for you. Kill it with your long shot once it opens its mouth. Proceed through the passageway and remove your iron boots to go back to the surface. Use your final key on this door and inside you will find a golden chest containing the boss key. You will find some pots with fairies, so stock up if you're missing bottle fairies. Exit the room to go back to the central room of the temple. Step 40. Carefully avoid the shell blade that you just killed and now is resurrected by putting on the iron boots and removing them before touching the bottom. Resurface where the rocks are spawning and follow the trail until you reach the door that led you into this room for the very first time. Enter this door and make your way to the water temple's main room. Step 41. Use the long shot to avoid the spikes on the floor and enter the water using your iron boots. Careful with the spiked enemies. You can avoid them if you remove the iron boots to float your way to the main room. Position yourself in the center top platform facing north towards the dragon-like statue. Step 42. Use the long shot to reach the target on the dragon statue. You will find some pots containing fairies if you need them. Proceed to the next room where you will find some moving sharp blades. Position yourself to the leftmost of the aisle. Since this ramp is slippery, you will take some time to climb it. But if you time it correctly, you can cross using a straight line, like you can see on this video. If the blade timings gets messed up, just exit and re-enter the room. Once you cross the 3 blades, use the boss key to enter Morpha's lair. Step 43. Kill Morpha. My best recommendation is to use the long shot several times to bring this gigantic amoeba to a corner and on to its demise. Don't worry if you fail the first time. It will not be too aggressive since it is the first round of damage you're dealing. So be patient and expect it to make the tentacles, and once it is within reach, bring it to the corner. I recommend crouching stabs for swifter attacks since the regular sword attacks can take time between slashes. Once you inflict enough damage, Morpha will meet the creator. Will leave behind a full heart container. Collect the heart container, walk into the light, and congratulations, you have officially finished the water temple. Hey, if you made it all the way to the final part of this video, thanks a lot for watching. This episode was supposed to come out on Saturday, but due to some real-life time constraints, I had to push it to Sunday. There is a chance this is the last video I will be making in a long time until I sort out some matters on my everyday life. So if you like the video, please leave a like. This really helps the channel grow. And who knows, if I get enough likes, I may be back to making these and other videos by popular demand. But be sure I will be back once I find the balance on my everyday life. In the strange case that you are interested on knowing when I upload a new video, subscribe and activate the bell. It is free last time I checked. Okay, so that is it for me. Until we meet again, this is Wiki signing out. And on the immortal words of Gus Rodriguez, remember, there is always a reward beyond the game over.